A serial killer. This is a person who commits a series of murders with no apparent motives and typically following a characteristic, what we call a predictable behavior pattern. Between 1970 and 2005, more than 5,000 serial killers have been convicted in the world. Among them were those who particularly marked history because of their number of victims, their body counts, or because of the way they killed. Otis Elwood Toole, aka the Cannibal of Jacksonville, he was an American serial killer and ritualist. He committed his first crime at the age of 14, but his crimes really turned murderous in the mid-70s when he hooked up with another killer called Henry Lucas, who then later became his partner in crime. Otis got married in 1977 but later got divorced because his wife accused him of having a relationship with his crime partner. Otis admitted helping Lucas execute more than 108 homicides when he was arrested in 1982. He earned the nickname Cannibal because he also admitted eating some body parts of his victims alongside his crime partner. He also provided some scary details about his crimes, but in the end, it still remained unclear on how many killings the deadly duo committed. Otis died of liver failure in his prison when he was incarcerated in September 15, 1996. Aaron Kosminski, aka Jack the Ripper. He is undoubtedly one of the most scariest killers in history. For a very long time, this man's identity remained unknown. He only attacked women, particularly prostitutes, by luring them in the dark corners of a street in London and then will savagely mutilate them. The way he mutilated his victims led the police into thinking that he had some knowledge of the human anatomy. Occasionally, he will extract a part of his victim's body and mail it to the police, along with letters where he clearly claimed to be Jack the Ripper. Up till now, there is no verified information on his whereabouts, but there are speculations that he might still be stuck in the streets of London looking for his next victim. So watch out.
Part 5.
Luis Garavito is a Colombian rapist and serial killer who is considered as one of the deadliest killers in history. He earned his nickname as the Beast. When he was arrested in 1999, he admitted to the rape, torture, and murder of 138 children and teenagers. He was sentenced to 1,853 years of imprisonment. However, the Colombian law limits imprisonment to 40 years. So consequently, his sentence was reduced to 22 years. The fact that he helped the police find the bodies of his victims also helps reduce his sentence. He is currently serving his sentence in a max security prison in Colombia, isolated from the other prisoners. Otherwise, he will be killed immediately. His next trial is scheduled for 2023. Mikhail Popkov is a former Russian policeman nicknamed the Werewolf because of the brutal nature of his crimes. His crimes originated from the suspicions that his wife committed adultery on him. He used knives, axes, amongst others, to disembowel his victims, who were all females except for one man, another policeman. He described himself as a cleaner who purged the city of its prostitutes. Mikhail Popkov had a pathological need to kill people, says the prosecutor's office in Russia. He was convicted for 22 murders in 2015 and confessed to 59 additional homicides 3 years later, for which he was sentenced to a second life imprisonment. Dr. Herald Shipman was a British doctor who had more than 260 body counts, which made him by far the deadliest serial killer in all history. He killed his patients by injecting them overdoses of morphine. This was actually discovered 5 years after he started exercising as a medical doctor by one of his colleagues, who noticed that all his patients died the exact same way. It was said during his prosecution that he enjoyed having a total control of life or death on his patients. Sentenced to life imprisonment, he was discovered hanging in his prison cell in 2004.